guys, welcome back to another Dune reaction. Today I'm going to be watching Season 1, Episode 4 of Dune Prophecy, so let's just get into it. I guess this is the bravery that comes with being one of the Bene Gesserit, because no way am I following some wandering person. Unless this is a dream. That's strange and unfortunate. I wonder why it's not affecting her, though. Oh, and does this have anything to do with, Lila? Trying to resurrect Lila? Was, Desmond controlling them, maybe?
An accident.
That Richese boy was murdered.
You sound so sure.
Everyone's talking about it. I assumed it was your kind spreading the rumor.
What are you after, Harrow?
Better incentives for the whale fur trade.
Sister Theodosia, tell this young man what he truly desires. The Mother Superior as your truth-sayer.
So is this how the Harkonnens rise up so far?
Let me prove
in the future
by ensuring you a seat.
Or is she actually doing something to trick them?
The rumor's true, isn't it? Your new attack dog murdered Pruitt, didn't you?
That boy broke the first and highest law. No thinking machines. And he was met with the appropriate consequences.
We will not be united as long as he stands at your side.
And I mean, to be fair, like, you're gonna have trouble keeping this a secret if he admits it every time someone asks him what happened.
Mother Dorothea took her own life out of grief over the death of our founder. Her memory should not be dishonored.
I love these things.
Perhaps great houses could follow your lead.
Want to remove all the truth-sayers from the lounge, rat? I might as well announce I had something to hide.
How would you like to be remembered? As an emperor that allowed the nobles to tread all over him, or one that brought the great houses to you?
Dude has no chill.
Those who disrespect you, use me.
I know that in some way he's telling the Emperor what he wants to hear, but like, wouldn't you be a little suspicious if somebody just showed up and was like, let me kill everyone you don't like?
Is when a fool lights a match.
I said no.
Oh boy. Again, not that his instincts to not trust the Bene Gesserit are like wrong, but again, I'm surprised that he got rid of the Sisterhood and is immediately trusting Desmond with like almost everything.
My favorite Ixian.
Ixians.
Who's this? Life rules.
This will do all the things you want, but better.
Better how?
Really big boo.
I feel haunted, Tula. By our past, I can't escape it, not even in my sleep. I had a dream. Like Kasha. I could use you here. If you could...
So it was a cover-up.
Difficult to fully assess. House Richese is refusing an investigation.
I'm glad that this is actually having some kind of impact on the plot beyond the first couple of episodes.
Inquiry is within the power.
A lesser house.
House Harkonnen.
A disgraced house.
Shouldn't you be out doing what you sisters do?
Poor little twerp.
With your robust trade experience in whale fur, your talents would be most welcome on the High Council. We're here to extend a formal invitation.
No.
Machine dealers trading in illegal technology. Suspected clientele. So many promising leads left unattended. The time for leniency is over, don't you think?
I like her. And I like that she's, like, actually relevant to the plot. She's not just married to the Emperor.
This time. You're the one that leaked the truth about the Richese boy.
Well, don't look so surprised.
Sneaky.
You know I did it.
You decided to attend. I'm glad I could rely on you.
Floor is yours.
My Emperor.
The members of the High Council are all familiar with the strictures of vendetta. Your house knows the forms better than anyone.
Oh boy.
And the wasps. They hide in
Just like imagine you've never seen this guy before in your life and he's doing this theatrical whatever.
your heart. But don't be afraid.
Yikes. Sick.
You murdered Dorothea. You murdered Ori. You slaughtered the Atreides. And now your sins has brought the reckoning to our order. Your lies must be cleansed.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Jeepers.
Lila?
Oh boy. And more blue-eyed, I think. No. Not blue-eyed.
I chose the sisterhood because they saw me. They saw my potential. And Griffin was the only one of you who was ever my equal. You exist because I allow you to exist.
You abused her love like you abused Griffin's until you broke her too.
All you Harkonnens
Tea
are
is being
cowards.
spilled.
Too afraid to make difficult choices.
Oh, jeez. What in the frick? That is quite a talent. That's one heck of an ending. Okay, so that is a wrap on Season 2, Episode 4 of Dune Prophecy. Definitely an interesting and active episode. Again, obviously, like, the biggest sort of what is going on question is, like, why the Emperor and Empress are so all in on Desmond. I don't think I would be trusting anybody that quickly, even if he seems to be on their side, especially given that, I don't know, I feel like the lines about him being there for the Imperium are very intentional. Like, he's not saying that he's there for the Emperor, and I think that his idea of what is doing what's best for the Imperium probably isn't going to line up with the Emperor and Empress's wants in the very end. And I'm surprised that, you know, given that they're supposed to be kind of political movers and shakers, that they're not foreseeing this potential downfall in the future. It was interesting to see Valia return to the Harkonnens and kind of, like, obviously try to use that to her advantage and then get nerfed by Desmond's ability to sort of cut her off at the pass, even if he doesn't know that's what he's doing. Again, like I said, glad that the whole Pruitt thing is actually having at least some kind of impact on the storyline, because obviously I made a video about Pruitt after the first episode, and then it seemed like by the time the second episode came around, it was going to have zero effect on anything, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that was nothing of relevance, but glad to have that come back around, even if the Emperor and Desmond are not at all sorry for his execution. Obviously, the united nightmares between all of the sisterhood is an interesting groundwork to lay. I'm still not sure where I feel like that's going, but obviously it's relevant and probably connected to Desmond in some way. It was nice to see Inez act out against her father or do what she thought was morally right. And I think that so far, given that it's only been 4 episodes, Dune has done a really good job of, like, actually making the characters feel like characters. Like, everyone has an independent motivation for certain things. There's not just someone who's kind of there filling a place. And there is a lot of genuine political belief that is driving these characters forward, even if their beliefs are in conflict. It's not just a matter of kind of doing what is convenient or what is necessary for the plot. But even, like, with that said, I'm very interested to know what exactly what the plan is for the last 2 episodes, because presumably they have to wrap up something in the next 2 episodes, but it feels like there's a lot of loose threads that haven't been explained. And if anything, like, they're just creating more questions rather than answering the questions that we already have. So I hope that HBO plans on renewing the show, because if it just ends after 6 episodes, that's going to be kind of disappointing. Yeah, and so obviously there is I didn't mention it when I was watching it, which I should have, because it would have made me seem very astute. But I did notice that it looked like Travis Fimmel was wearing a contact lens in one of his eyes, and I didn't know why that was until Lila came back, and it looked like she had a similar eye thing going on. So that makes me... There's Chubby. Chubbs has finally found it. Oh, hi. Hi, you. Yes, you're very cute. It would have, I'm wondering if there's supposed to be some kind of, obviously a connection between the two, but also, like, was the implication there that there's some kind of, I don't even know how to phrase it, like, that the Desmond and now Lila are, like, part machine-ish or something? I don't know if I totally misread that part, whatever happened at the end of Desmond killing all of the people at the Landsrad, it looked like there was some sort of mechanical something going on. And then the same thing with Lila. It was something happening. We had to say farewell to Robert Baratheon, so sad. Hopefully there's more flashbacks, including him. Obviously, the power that Theodosia has is the kind of the big moment that we ended off the episode on. And I'm interested to know, like, what that is. Obviously, it was introduced for a significant reason, but like, so what we saw, it looks like she is actually transforming herself into the body of someone else. It didn't look like that was some hallucination that she imposed on Valia. And she said what Valia wanted to hear, but the way that she reacted to what Griffin said made it seem like she wasn't just making something up to tell Valia to make her feel better. It seemed to imply that she thought that Theodosia was really channeling Griffin, or however you want to call it. So what does that mean for like everything, for the entirety of the Dune universe, that there is someone who has this power? Again, presuming that is actually what's happening, that she is somehow communicating with the dead. That's a pretty big deal, and seems like it could do a lot to drive the plot forward and explore the other characters. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. And yeah, obviously, I think it's interesting to see how many of the political factions seem to kind of operate in the same way, in the sense that, like with Pruitt's death, they all just try to exploit that to their own advantage. But that's also kind of putting Desmond in a weird position of power, because he's actually actively doing things instead of just waiting for something to happen and exploiting that for himself. I think that's basically all I have to say about this episode. It's definitely probably the best episode that the show has had so far, so I'm definitely excited to see where it's going in the next 2 episodes. It's always good to have, the episodes get better and better, so hopefully episode 5 will top episode 4. So if you want to follow along with me and watch the rest of this season, like and subscribe.